friends, here's my new toy, impulse buy, Honda Dax, the 2025. They just came out with the black one, but this one I think was $400 less on sale under MSRP with no added dealer markups or anything, but you know, the regular fees, taxes, all that stuff, registration. Yeah, so I've got two other bikes. I've got a KTM 390 Adventure and a Kymco AK550. I like both. I'm still not a big fan of the clutch. You know, I've never been the best at it, but you know, it hurts your hand and stuff. And every so often I do still stall the bike. And then if you're lane splitting and you stall and you lane split, I don't really do lane splitting anymore. These are just for fun. They're not commuters. But this is semi-automatic. I'm sure everybody knows that. I'm just turned 60. My uncle had a CT90 Trail, so they had the same type of transmission. So let's see if I remember how to use it. I'll do a first drive on this. It does have 1 mile an hour. 1 mile on the odometer. So you guys are going to get to see what it's like for someone to be foolish on their first ride on the transmission. I'm also 240 pounds naked with gear, 250, 255. I'm going to wear full ACAT on this thing. Maybe I'll wear some tennis shoes like this because of the way that clutch is. There's not much room. But I bought this at Poway Motorsports, or Power Sports, I think they call it, down in Poway, California. And what's nice about that dealer is they don't charge markups. The bad part would be they don't negotiate. The good part is, you know, this has been sitting in there for a while. I don't think these Daxes are that popular. And whatever, they'll actually put the motorcycle on sale and advertise it. So, but because it's been sitting in there a lot for a long time, this happened to me on the AK550, you're going to get the proverbial scratch from them moving it around, I suppose, or maybe somebody's just not buying this one and leaving it. So here's the scratch here. Not a big deal. I didn't see this, but I would have bought it anyway. Came across the, and then right here on the paint. I would have bought it anyway, but it's always there. Love the blue. I did want the gray because I do like gray. My truck is gray. But I will say the blue is nice. It's sparkly. My wife likes blue. And you know, like I said, I'm 60, so I remember these not very often. You know, just a little kid. And I had a mini bike. I think it was a Z50 or something. I'll have to look that up. And we'd go out like every 6 months to some place to ride. And I still remember this color. So this to me is the more traditional color for the 70s. As far as retro. The new one's black. They're only selling apparently black in the United States for 2026. Now the black has a painted black mudguard, which actually looks better coordinated. This gray kind of, you know, I guess I think if it was chrome, it would actually be better. But the gray is a little off-putting. I might get a chrome or a blacked out fender in the future. I don't know. I don't like modifying bikes. I'm in California. Any modification you do is, especially if it makes any kind of noise, you're asking for trouble, in my opinion. Also, I do have insurance. I do own my home, so I would imagine if I did get in an accident, any modification would be an excuse for the insurance company to negate anything like that. Maybe I'm being overly sensitive or paranoid about it, but we'll see. I might do something on it. I don't know. But I aired up the tires yesterday. We're going to go for a ride. Now, I had a Honda PCX 2022 PCX 160, so it had the 157 cc's. Again, I'm a bigger guy. To me, that was just barely enough power for the street on flat ground, where you could get in front of people at a, if you're lane splitting or whatever. I'd say 95% of the time it was enough. If you weren't going up hills, and then it's freeway legal, which, maybe one exit, but even that was taking a risk of life and limb. I have a video on my channel if you want to see me on the freeway on that thing. But anyway, so I'm going to compare this to that. Obviously, it's going to be a smaller engine. This is a 124 cc. The other thing, the Honda would bottom out the PCX. We'll see. This thing has a high weight capacity, over 300, I think. And I think the PCX did too. But the rear springs would bottom out. So the Honda Monkey was kind of a no-go. I was over the limit on that. I do like the looks of this one better. People complain about the semi-automatic, but hopefully I get used to it. The other problem with the PCX, I'll compare this to, obviously the speed. It should be lower on this one, but is it adequate for the street? For me, at 250, 255. I'm not going to carry a passenger, but the problem with the PCX, it had a hump. That was the main reason I got rid of it. I could never get comfortable. I have lower back issues. I have sit bone issues, and when I was sitting up here, I couldn't stretch. So this one I should be able to stretch. So we'll compare that. The seat is a little skinnier than the Honda PCX. We'll see how that goes. So the Honda PCX bottomed out. Honda PCX Power we'll compare. And then the seating position we'll compare. And yeah, I'll see you out there on the road. And I don't have a microphone. What I'll do, I'm gonna wear a GoPro on my helmet. I'll leave the visor open. And I'll try to record some reaction. If not, I'll do a little bit of voiceover. And see you on the road. And I'm wearing earplugs too, because I got this new helmet, the Bell off ADV helmet, which, man, you really need earplugs. The old Bell I used to have for street was okay at 45 miles an hour. This new Bell, it's like I'm riding down the street at 60, as far as wind noise. So anyway, see you out there.